What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global back here with another video, and today I want to talk about the running back group, more specifically though, Sony Michel versus Damien Harris, and going into training camp, is this going to be a battle to watch? I've heard a good amount of people calling this a battle between the two young running backs. I mean, obviously this being Damien Harris's first year in the NFL, and then this being Sony Michel's second year. But long story short, I don't believe that these two are battling against each other for that number one running back position. But obviously all the running backs on the Patriots roster right now are all technically going up against each other in the sense of who is going to get more snaps. And not only that, but which guys are going to be lined up when, because these guys are so versatile, but each of them are special in their own ways. So really the question is, when is each of these running backs going to get their time to shine? Pretty much what situation. Now, it doesn't really matter how training camp goes. Both of these guys, both Sony Michel and Damien Harris, are going to solidify roles for themselves in this upcoming season. And New England really likes to rotate everyone. They would like to rotate their receivers. They like to rotate their running backs. They like to rotate on the defensive line. So this isn't going to be something like you see with the Cowboys when they're using Ezekiel Elliott, or this isn't going to be something with the Giants where you have Saquon Barkley. It's not going to be that type of thing where they just are constantly using just one running back for 95% of the time. The real question comes down to, though, which one is going to get more time on the field. So basically, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break both of these guys down and then kind of give you your answer after I break both of them down. So, Sony Michel. Michel had a very impressive rookie season considering all the things that had set him back. I mean, injuries in college, then he gets to training camp. He misses most of training camp. He misses the entire preseason. He misses a little bit of the regular season, in which we didn't get to see Sony Michel on the field till week 2 against the Jacksonville Jags. A lot of people were very sudden to judge Sony Michel based off how his first game was with the Jags, because it seriously was not anything special, and it took Sony a little bit of time to find his footing in the NFL and his footing with the Patriots. But Michel ended the year with 931 yards, 6 touchdowns on 209 rushing attempts. He added another 336 and another 6 touchdowns in the postseason while running behind New England's offensive line, which was actually ranked second best when it came to run blocking. Michel was undoubtedly the Patriots' number one receiver, running back. But what can you expect when, they used a first round on the guy? Michel this season proved that he can handle a very sizable workload and be a very efficient runner while doing so. But like we said, Sony Michel deals with a lot of injuries. He was injured in the preseason. He was injured in the beginning of the season. He was injured in the middle of the season and was almost injured again in the middle of the season, but luckily it was just a fluke. Not to mention the fact that this offseason, Sony Michel also went through surgery. Now, from what it sounds like, it was just a cleanup. He went in. Everything is good. He's pretty much running now at, quote, full tilt. So it should be good for him going into training camp, but at the same time, you never know. Especially with knee injuries like he's suffered, you can never be 100% sure how he's going to come back. A big thing with Sony Michel this season will be how he can contribute in the passing game. Sony Michel is one of those guys that when he's on the field, you pretty much know that it's going to be a run play. Now, it didn't seem to really affect him as he was still a top running back in the league, but he can be so much more dynamic if he can actually pick up in the passing game. Michel only caught 7 passes as a rookie and never caught more than 26 during any season while he was at Georgia. I do want to note that he does have the skills. He has the skills to be a very nice pass catcher type of running back in the league, but he's just extremely raw. Of course, he's never fully harnessed that ability being a pass catcher, And at the same time, how can you totally blame him? Injuries, again, have really plagued him. He hasn't had the chance to do it with Tom Brady last offseason because of injuries. He wasn't able to work on it with any of the quarterbacks. I'm not talking about just Tom Brady, but even guys like Brian Hoyer, just the New England coaching staff, he hasn't even been able to work with them because, again, remember, he wasn't at OTAs and he wasn't at minicamp. If Michel can finally get on the same page as Brady when it comes to being a pass catcher and he can actually have reliable hands, then he is going to get way more time on the field. Now moving on to Damien Harris. And Damien Harris coming out of the draft was another guy that a lot of people kind of pictured as one of the biggest steals for the Patriots. A lot of people were surprised where the Patriots had actually gotten him in the draft. Harris was a key piece to Alabama's success, and he's coming into the NFL, and of course that's going to be one of the big question marks is can he convert his college career into the NFL, but at the same time, he's coming in with one of the best offensive lines in the league, and pretty much just about anyone can succeed behind the New England offensive line. So, if I'm going to be completely honest, he just needs to have the opportunity to do so, which if we're going to look at minicamp, if we're going to look at OTAs, he's definitely getting that chance. During his college tenure, he recorded 876 yards and 9 touchdowns on 150 attempts. What Bill Belichick, I think, really loved about Damien Harris is that he's super smart when picking the right lanes. He isn't someone who's just going to rush it, or he just really relies on his size and his build to just push through everyone. He finds the correct holes in order to pick up every single yard that's possible. Now, kind of like Sony Michel, Damien Harris did not manage to make a huge impact in the passing game in college, but he was more due to the lack of opportunity. When he had the opportunity, he showed that he can be very good in the passing game, that he has very reliable hands. And of course, you're coming into the New England offense where Bill Belichick, and more specifically Tom Brady, love to do quick dump offs. They love to get their running backs involved in the running game. So I think that is what is going to set him above someone like Sony Michel. He recorded a career high of 22 receptions in 2018, but no matter really how he goes about, I do not see him beating James White out of that receiver type of running back role. Now, while he is a very powerful runner who can seriously just dodge right through the middle of the field, he does not have top-notch speed to turn out a 50-yard play such as someone like Sony Michel can. He just is not as elusive as Sony. So what is the conclusion? What does this mean for Sony Michel as a running back on the team? And what does this mean for Damien Harris, a rookie running back on his first year with the team? Well, assuming that Michel is fully healthy, he's fully to go week 1, then of course he's going to get the job. I don't see how he loses it to really anyone. Of course, he does have to work a lot more in the passing game, but he's a super solid runner with top-notch speed and is able to break a lot of tackles. He just was a game changer for the Patriots all season as a runner and did some things that really no other running back on the team I feel can do. If you look at Bill Belichick's history, he really likes having a 2-down running back, and Michel fits that bill. Again, as long as he's present, as long as he's there for the start of training camp, then it's hard to imagine Sony Michel actually losing the job. So what happens then with Damien Harris? Well, Damien Harris is a really great north-south runner who excels very well at those short yardage opportunities. And when I say north-south, I mean just running straight up the middle. He really attacks his lanes as a running back. He puts his shoulders down, he puts his head down, and he just trucks through these guys. And he falls forward, which is something else to really like about him, and goes back to the aspect of him trying to pick up every single yard that he can. Not to mention that he has the ability to produce in the passing game. You should look for Sony Michel to be your early down backs, and then have a guy like Damien Harris come in more so on those short yard attempts. Say you're in the red zone and you need to capitalize on a touchdown, or you're a couple yards away, a couple inches away, and you need to pack it in to get that first. We could also see things change up between the two running backs depending on which type of opponent they're going against, which type of defense they are going against, and say that Sony Michel is dealing with injury, that is when you're going to have a guy like Damien Harris have a rise in his snap counts. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on Sony Michel and Damien Harris? And at the same time, why don't you guys let me know in the comments below your total thoughts on just the running back group as a whole. But that is it for today's video. Please make sure you guys like this video as it seriously helps me and the channel and progressing forward. And if you're not subscribed yet, please make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, join the PG family, and leave your comment below, and let's just get another conversation popping, guys. But that's it for today, and I will catch you guys in another video.